I've already done it again. I've already broke it. A brand new chute, used it twice, and I have destroyed it. I am very abusive with some of my tools. Well, you might not need to know this, but I got a 0-turn lawnmower that I cut my yard with. And then I've got a 42-inch riding lawnmower that I cut the property across the road and the sides of the street with. So this mower gets a lot of abuse, and I'm always snagging this grass chute on things, and I'm always tearing it off. And I usually end up trying to repair it 2 or 3 times along the way so I can get as much life out of it as I can. And I'm only telling you that because when you buy a new one of these chutes for your lawnmower, you're going to end up with a long metal shaft with a little clip that goes on the end. And those are hard to use over and over again, so I'm using some threaded rod with 2 lock nuts on each end instead. Wow, I did a good job breaking this. It's torn there, and it's torn on this other end too. Well, because I've torn so many up, I've gotten pretty good at repairing these grass chutes too. Well, I've got some copper wire that's left over from some 14-2 Romex wire. And I think I can trim it into some short lengths and use it to hold this together. I've got a drill bit that's roughly the same size as that copper wire. So let's take a look at this grass chute and see where there might be some good spots to drill some holes and use that copper wire to hold it all together. It's really easy to drill through the plastic that the chute's made out of. And I love using the copper wire. It's strong enough to hold things, but it's flexible enough that you can manipulate it really easy. If I'm going to hold this grass chute in place, I'm probably going to have to do at least 2 more of these pieces of copper wire around that threaded rod. Well, if you ever do any DIY projects around the house and you're using Romex electrical wire, make sure you save all the unused copper wire. It really does come in handy for a lot of things. I used some just the other day when I was putting up some bug balls. I took about 1 foot of that Romex, cut it, and then used the copper wire to suspend the bug balls from a wrought iron hanger in the yard. Well, now that I have my holes drilled and I've got the copper wire in place, I'll go ahead and cut this last piece to length. And if you've got a fairly wide set of pliers like I've got, you can just grab the 2 ends of the copper and twist it tightly around itself, and it makes a very secure connection. I'll do the same thing with these other 2 wires, and we should be able to wrap this up and get it back onto the lawnmower. Well, there's 2 other reasons I really like using this copper wire for DIY projects, especially in the yard. It doesn't rust, and when it does corrode, it changes to a brownish color. So if you're using it to hold bushes or shrubs back or something that's outside in the yard, it just blends into the natural surrounding. You don't even really see the wire. Alright, now let's see if we can get this reinstalled onto the mower deck. The spring can be a little bit difficult when you're trying to reinstall this, especially when it's time to put that rod through it. I'm having to beat it with this wrench just to get it to go through, and that's probably because the plastic's no longer in the original shape that it was molded in. Well, there we go. We'll tighten these 2 nuts, and now we can do a quick operational check, and I think it's not going to get snagged or torn off now. With any luck, I can cut the grass at least 2 more times before I have to do something else to the chute. Well, there it is. I've cut the grass a couple times, and you can see that those copper wires are working just fine and keeping everything in place. So if I can get a little more use out of this, all the better. Well, this wraps up another one of those lawnmower repairs for the summer. Like, subscribe, check out my playlist, and I'll see you in that next lawnmower video.